Hello again and welcome back everybody to another edition of the Rural Report. I am your Rural 2IC, and today is going to be one subscriber's long-awaited video of flashlights. Now this is not going to be the big grand one that I want to do, and this is also not going to be the only flashlight video that I do. I know last time I kind of cheated a little bit and just did a digital one. This one, I promise you, I have physical flashlights to show you. So, real quick disclaimer, I'm not going to get into brand names. This is not an episode where I'm endorsing one flashlight over another one or anything. This is to give you some ideas if you are in the market of buying a flashlight, or maybe you're looking to upgrade a flashlight or something along those lines. That's all this is going to do. But I want to give you a actual hands-on, or at least my hands-on, visual so you can see, and maybe it'll help you determine. So, first things first is going to be the small handheld flashlights. So you can get what I like to kind of call micro. So this is not a pen light, but this is one of the ones that I will call micro. I like these. Now keep in mind, as we go through all these, every single one of these flashlights, as well as with all gear, is going to have upsides and downsides. And you're going to have to decide in between, does it outweigh the bad for the good? Are you getting more of a benefit than there are negatives? Now, one of the things with this, it's small, it's lightweight. Plus side, but it's small, you can easily lose it. Downside, I mean, that's kind of the demonstration I want to give you. But I like these. This is a metal design, it's durable, it's very small. This does come with the clip, so that way I can clip this on my bag, on my like a bug out bag strap. I can clip this on my pants, on my belt loop. I can clip this anywhere and it'll dangle and stay out of the way. It is very, very bright for what it is. This does take batteries. I know a lot of people will say you got to get rechargeable, don't get rechargeable. I like to have a mixture of both. I get the rechargeable ones where you will take a battery pack, plug it in, charge. Cool, I like it. But I like to also have the ones that take batteries, for the simple fact that the internal on a flashlight, when you have a, I'd almost picked another one up. If you have a flashlight that takes an internal battery, once that battery goes, it's done. Unless you're going to have 10 flashlights to where you're going to cannibalize and take the good stuff out, so when the next one breaks, hopefully you can combine them and make a working flashlight. Otherwise, once it's done, it's done. That's why I like to have ones that have batteries, so that way I can do rechargeable batteries. If that rechargeable fails, I can get rid of that and have another rechargeable. So as long as you have multiple rechargeable batteries, you're good. All right, it's not about that. So let's get into the actual flashlights. So there's one. Here's one that is slightly bigger. Now I like this one here. This has a very rubberized coating on it. This is one that will take batteries. The one thing with most of these is these all come with these rubberized buttons. Now this one is very flimsy and thin. So this one, if I took this one out to actually camp or anything, I would probably do something about this, even if it's duct tape or something over top of it, to where it gives me more, a little bit more of a layer, so to speak. This one is a lot thicker. But still, it's rubber. All it takes is one little catch, and eventually it's going to go. Now, on this one here, this one does take batteries. This has multiple LEDs in here. Again, small, lightweight. I would, however, change this. As you can see right there, see how cheap that ring is? So let's say that you have this stuff in some webbing or whatnot. Maybe it's clipped on and you're tromping through the woods. All it takes is one little pull. This fails and you have a potential of losing your flashlight. So as you go around and get different gear, if it has a weak point, change it. Figure out a way to change it, modify it, so that way it fits your needs. Now, moving up from the small micros to what I call the handhelds. Now, this one here is probably one of my favorites. Now, this one, I took the ring off and I actually just kind of lassoed that in there. I like this. This fits my hand snug, and that's what I like. So I've left this on here. Now, again, this does come with the rubber, so you'd have to be very careful with that. But this is a metal design. This is very, very bright. And so on this one here, this gives you your way that you can do a, if I can get it to where you can see, there we go. So there's that one, and then you can expand it out to your flood. This I like. This is actually kind of one of my go-tos. This actually is in one of my bags. It's one of my favorites. The reason that I personally gear towards this size. Now keep in mind I have bigger hands, but as you can see, as soon as I grip this, you see there's a little bit here, and I'm not over top of where this is. This fits comfortably for me. You're going to have to figure out what works for you. But for me, this gives me control. When I'm out doing things, this gives me the control and the dexterity and the movement that I want. But again, your needs may be different. Mine. Now, the other one that has quickly become my favorite, I will get a lot of bad things about this because they're like, Rural, why did you get plastic? It's going to fail. It's going to break. Yes, I get it. I fully get it. I wish this was metal. I'm looking for one very similar to this that is metal design. This does, if you can see it, this does have solar on both sides. And then as you see, there is a charging port on here. This one does do where this one is very bright. You can narrow it down to do that. This one does have the different modes on this one. So now you've got the dim, and then you've got the flash. Turn that off just in case it bothers somebody. But the reason why I really, really like this one is that this fits perfectly in my hand again. So that way, if I am out and I am doing something, it gives me perfect movement. Again, it fits where I want. The way that this is notched out, my thumb fits right in between there, and it gives me that perfect kind of thumb placement where I'm not hitting the button and turning it off. My finger is actually on the button, so I can quickly do what I need to do with it without moving it around. This, if I could find this in metal, this would absolutely be my absolute favorite flashlight. And this one does take batteries, so I can quickly go in and out. There's actually a rechargeable in here, even though you charge it this way to where it's like that, you can actually take this out and recharge it. So again, one of my absolute favorite flashlights with just a small drawback. Now, if you're going to move up from there, you can get into a little bit of the multi-tool area or the novelty area. So you got something like this. Now, this does come plastic and metal. So it's got two different things. I don't like that the weak part of this is the plastic part. As you can see, it's got the little kind of like army knife sort of things in there. So it does come with some tools. Yeah, you got the 2 is 1, 1 is none. So you're out there, you've got your main knife, it breaks, you lose it, whatever. If you have none, well, you can actually pull this out and you would have something. Are you going to chop a tree down with this? No, but it would be something. The cool thing with this one is this one does have 2 different modes. So this one does come with a white light as well as a SOS red light. So I kind of found that to be a little on the interesting side. This is quite heavy because of all the tools on both sides. So it's a little bit of a drawback, but then again, you may need something. There's a saw in there, there's scissors, there's different screwdriver attachments, a file, things like that. So, could you take out 5 or 6 things and just put this in there? You're going to have to figure out what fits your needs. Moving on. I'm not going to go in the name. As soon as I show it, you're going to know exactly what it is. But this, I have one a lot bigger than this. I would turn it on and show you that it works, but I pulled this out of my bag and tested it, and it was a little dim. So I went to change the batteries, and there was a little bit of corrosion. So I've actually got kind of the stuff stripped out, and it's soaking, so I can clean it up. If you can see the button here, that's what I was talking about with the rubberized cover of the button. But if you can, still works just fine. This one though, because this is so old, that is not LED. You see the bulb in there. Um, Now, the reason for this, because when I did privatized security, this went with me. Okay, so this has a little bit of sentimental value. What I like about this is it is just perfect enough. As you can see right here's the button. See how my finger is right there, and I can get a good control of this. So now I've got all the light that I need, and I can turn, move, do what I need. And then it gives me that perfect length right here. So if I need to, I can actually drop down and bust out a window or do what I need to do with this part, which if you look, this thing has seen, it's fair share of action. Uh, but you can do what you need to do that, and then you can easily drop back and go back to your flashlight mode. Um, this one does swivel, so it does give you your narrow and more of your floodlight. I would, again, recommend if you're going to do flashlights, you're going to want 3 different ones. This is definitely going to be something that you're going to want. You're not going to be able to destroy this, okay? This right here, you can run it over with a car, you can drop it, you can do all sorts of things. This is the only part you're going to have to worry about, but if it busts, it busts as long as the bulb's okay. Next, we're going to get into the other nifty ones. So we have shown these off before. If you have not seen these, there is the little button. As soon as you hit that, there goes your piece, and you do that, and it charges. I know it doesn't do anything, but I like that you can see through these, so you can watch the internal parts. A lot of times these are fun for kids because they get to kind of play. This does, if I can hit the button, turn on, and you can actually charge this while it's on, so that also makes it a good feature. And all you do is push that back, lock it into place. Very, very lightweight. These actually are pretty good. They hold up very, very well. They're usually inexpensive. I think I find these usually 2 for $6 or $7 or something like that. They're very bright. They don't require anything. You don't need solar, you don't need cables, you don't need anything. You just need to sit here and crank. And I like that feature because let's say you only got 5 minutes of battery life. You can go out at nighttime and use this. Yes, you're going to make some noise, but depending on your situation, it's not going to matter. If you're just trying to go outside at 1 o'clock in the morning after a really big storm, and you're just trying to quickly scan for damage or whatnot, no one's going to care you're making noise. Now, yes, I get it. If you're out in the middle of the woods and there's bad things around, you don't want to be making noise and all that, well, you probably aren't going to be shining a huge light around anyway. So take it for what it is. But I like these kind. I know there's a bunch of people that hate them, but personally, I like them. They're cheap. They work. They're just great. Plus, if you don't like them, you got to remember they are a flashlight. They require nothing at all, and it's a great bartering item. If you don't like them, that's great. Pick a couple up. You can barter it off to somebody. It's a great thing for a kid to have. You get a kid that you're a mutual assistance group or whatever. Give this to the kid. It works as a flashlight. It's cheap. If they break it, so what? But I like these. These are great. Next is going to be the headlamp. You guys have been following me for some time. This is from the Walmart challenge that I did. Now, I'm quite surprised that this has the swivel point on this, so you can adjust the light, at least the angle of the light. The only thing with this is for people like me that wear hats. If you wear this over a hat like this, your hat does not sit flat. So if you're looking straight ahead, your light is actually going up. This does solve that to where you can angle it now to where it is. So, but again, it's $1. So as you walk, more than likely it's going to bounce and do different things. It does work, and this does take the same battery as one of my weapons light systems. So that's a plus, because the more weapon light system batteries you have, you also have a backup of one of these. Now, this again cost me $1 at Walmart, and so to pick up 2, 3, 10 of these things would be a great idea. These are really great to just toss to somebody. They're a great bartering item. You're really not out much. And it's one of them ones, if you were trying to figure out things, to barter with, if you take $5 and go buy 5 of these, I know there's tax. You go buy 5 of these, okay? You have a flashlight. And then if somebody comes along and it's SHTF and they, want to trade with you, if they don't have a flashlight, this is no longer worth $1. This is worth a heck of a lot more. And so buying something cheap and inexpensive right now could be worth a heck of a lot and preserving wealth and actually gaining you a lot more. So something to think about. Plus, the hands-free. Next is going to be one of these. The little Noah. I've done a whole episode on just this one. I know there's a ton of people out there that hate these. I like it. Again, it's going to be personal preference. It's a multi-tool. It gives you the radio, it gives you the flashlight, and then this one does have a hand crank, as well as you can either charge it or charge something off of it, which I like. So depending on what I'm going to do with this, I can sit here and charge this until this is good. And then if I have a radio or something else, I can actually slip this into a pocket on like my bag or anything like that. I can charge my other device while listening to the radio. I can listen to the radio, charge the device, and use the flashlight. This has multiple different things that you can use with this. I'm a fan of them in different situations. Yes, this one's not the top of the line one, but it's a good one. Not saying you have to go buy one, okay, but they're a good idea. Next is going to be, and this is going to be the last one, is going to be the lantern style. Now, I didn't do anything fire related because this is flashlights. So I like to have an electronic lantern. Now, on this one here, as we said in the beginning, you're going to have to tailor things to fit your needs. This is very cheap and flimsy, and so if I was going to rely on this, I would actually modify and change this. This strap feels really good, so I would end up taking both of these metals out, and I would probably utilize this strap, and I would probably make a paracord around right here and be able to do it that way. I leave it on there now because it does work, and this one right here, it does flip on, so you can use this, do it like this. I'm not shining in your eyes, so that way you can use this as a flashlight. Or on this one, if you sit this down on the tabletop and there we go, pull the Primar in. Now you have lantern style, and you can hang this up or put it on the tabletop and have a flood in the room, so that way you can do it. You can also carry it like this if you're going around in a group of people, so that way everybody's got a little bit of light. Now with this one, this does come with solar on the top. I've utilized this for a lot of different features. So this does come with a plug-in right here and a plug-in right here. So there's better ones of these. I just pulled this one because, again, if you're just starting out, a lot of times money is an issue, and so I didn't want to pull out big expensive flashlights just to kind of show off. I want to show those lower and medium range stuff to give you ideas. What I do find interesting about this one, this is a plastic button, not rubber. But then again, the whole thing is plastic, so you just be one of those ones. If you're carrying this around, you're going to have to be careful with it. So those are just ideas. Again, I'm not going to sit here and say the different brand names and stuff because that's not the point of this video. If you don't have a flashlight, the only thing I'm going to say, go get a flashlight. The next thing I'm going to say is go get another flashlight. You should have a minimum of 2 flashlights. Personal recommendation, you should have something small and handheld, easy to control, wield. Usually these charge pretty fast. You're going to have to pick it up to where it fits your needs. It's going to be able to fit your hand. It's going to fit your budget. It's going to charge how you want it. It's going to be made of the material you want. It's going to be, all that. Then I would say you're going to want to get something a little bit bigger and more heavy duty. This has, again, multiple different things that you can do with it. And so I would recommend that. From there, that's going to be on you. If you can afford it, I would get something that would be hands-free. If you can, I would get something that is multiple use. And if you can, I would get something that is like a room/tent illuminator, something that you can hang or stick right in the middle and gives everybody light. Now, we've gone over different ones. I would say the most expensive one in here is definitely hands down this one, but taking that one out, the most expensive flashlight I think I showed you was under $30. So those are good entry point flashlights. There's so many out there on the market. We did the one, and it was my cheat video where I showed you different flashlights that you can go buy from Amazon that were pretty reasonably priced. And that's kind of the point of it. I don't want to sit here and push out different brands and models and names and things like that, because it's going to come down to personal preference. Somebody's going to say something, somebody's going to say this one's better, this, that, and everything else. There's pluses and minuses on every single piece of equipment out there. And so the best thing to do is go through and find it. Go to a store, go to a flea market, go to a yard sale, go wherever, put hands on, turn it on, make sure it grips good, utilize it, shake it, do what you know, run it through a series of things, and if you feel comfortable, buy it. Once you buy it, run it through a few more series, drop it on the ground, splash some water on it, leave it outside overnight, pick it up, see if it works. Those are really good tests, so that way, if an SHTF event comes down, there you go. There's a whole bunch of different things that I do. I will take one of these, I will put fresh batteries in it, I will turn it on, and I will go put it in a closet or something, and I will check on it every couple hours. I want to see how long that battery lasts. So that way, if the time comes and I can drop fresh batteries in there, then I know that I've got 20 hours of continuous use on high before I have to start worrying about it. So just some ideas, just something to get it out there. I plan on doing more. I've got parts coming in to fix a few. And then I've got actually a few more flashlights on order. I know 2 of them are on back order. But there's so many flashlights out there. But that's what I've got for you. So stay tuned if you like flashlights, because we're definitely going to be sticking out a lot more flashlight videos. With that, stay tuned. More information to come. If you're not new here, you know what we're getting ready to do, because if you made it to this far in the video, guess what? You rock. Appreciate spending a little bit of time with me. Do all the fun YouTube things. Hit the like, subscribe, hit the bell for notification. And above everything else, please remember to remain united, because we're all prepping in this together.